Alright, so some of you may know I released a form for you guys to submit your games, and I review the games in a video, and after looking over the entire form I picked out some of the most interesting games I could find, so let's get started. The first game I'm doing on this list is called Webhook API Testing. This guy promotes this game in my server a lot, and in the notes of the forum he says, this game is open source to educational purposes only. It is for sending webhook messages. You can check out the system and how it works, and send embeds and all, etc, etc. Just up your bot picture and pretty much that is all. First impressions on the UI are not very good honestly. The main UI seems off-centered, and if you look barely you can see that all of the UI objects are not lined up and are off from one another. Also, as you can see in the clip I show, the text in the text boxes go off screen, which obviously looks really bad, and that's another problem. After putting my URL and editing some of the options, you can see that it works just as a normal webhook would. It's not really anything special, so I'd give it a 3 out of 10. Next on the list was going to be IDF main base, but I didn't have permission to enter. So instead we're going to be doing Facility 01, and in the notes they put it's basically a core game with a DMR type reactor. I hope you enjoy, and I made it with my other friend. After joining, you're greeted with a room full of controls, but if you go down to the next set of controls, there's a button locked behind some glass. After turning the 2 keys to open it, you can click it and it plays this sound.
The startup sequence has been initiated. Please evacuate the core chamber.
After that, the core will begin to activate, and it honestly looks really cool, so I'll let you guys watch it for yourself.
Started up successfully. Have a very nice day.
After that, I don't think there was anything else to do, but it looked really cool, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for the core. Next up is Hangout / Vibe Place, and in the notes they put I worked 10 plus hours on this with a little help with my friend. There isn't really much to this. Upon joining, there's a helper NPC, which doesn't help you at all, he just greets you. And as you continue walking, it's silent, there's no music, no sound effects or anything. And if you look out the window at the end of the hall, you see there's a default blaze plate and a skybox. After walking around the entire building, there isn't anything to do at all, so the game is clearly unfinished, but if they put more time into it, I feel like it could be a lot better. Next up is Modern Working Computer, and apparently this is supposed to be a fully functional computer, so let's see. After loading in and turning on the computer, you get greeted with a Windows 10 login screen. You have to enter your username to log in. After logging in, there's a bunch of icons on the screen which all work as intended. The music player plays a list of the default Roblox music, but alternatively you can enter your own sound ID. Then there's the media player, which plays Roblox's default videos since you can't upload your own videos yet, but it still looks nice. The notepad works just as you would suspect the notepad to work. Next is a calculator, and again, it's a calculator. The settings menu looks weird. A lot of things are spelled incorrectly, but they do have a lot of nice wallpapers, and you can also upload your own. Then there's the math app, which will give you a bunch of random math problems depending on which you click. Very straightforward. Now the books app is decent because it has a lot of preset stories that actually have illustrated pages, and I think they are actual real books. You can also see at the bottom right it displays the real user's time. I went ahead and left a small donation on the game, and overall I give it an 8 out of 10. Next up is Jojos Stand testing, and in the notes they put this is a JoJo game based on a bizarre day. All scripts have been rewritten for removing errors, etc. and more content, stands map, and remade stands. So I'm not familiar with JoJo games in the slightest, so when I joined I was struggling with controls and all the items I were picking up. I had no idea what the arrows did nor the fruits, so I was just clicking random stuff. The UI doesn't look that good honestly. Some game passes don't prompt the purchase of what you clicked and they are scattered all over the place. I did leave a donation though. Next is Dimensional Adventure, and in the notes they put, please go over mine, I need help with popularity. Also, I need you to join sometime Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It's Wednesday right now, so let's see. So after joining, I noticed just 2 feedback menus. One is right in your face and the other is a model for my video. I don't know why you need 2. I ran around for a bit noticing there's actually nothing to do until I came across Bob, who didn't really have much to say except show how much he likes his burger. Then I came across this person sitting at what looked like a park, and there was very interesting dialogue options. The game was again very silent and there was nothing to do, but the map looked decent, so overall I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Next is Wing Zone, and in the notes they put roleplay restaurant game. So surprisingly, this game wasn't silent, it actually had music playing. The UI looks slightly better than other games I reviewed, but still needs some work. Walking inside, the first glance looks pretty empty, but the parts you do see like the front desk and textures look very nice. There unfortunately were no employees, so I just had to look around the entire building to see how everything else looked. The upstairs area looked a lot better than the downstairs area, but again still needed some work. Overall, everything that was built so far looked decent. The game still looks unfinished, so I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Next is Lava Panic. They didn't put anything in the notes, so we'll have to see for ourselves. So this game is basically lava is rising, you have to spam punch trees to get wood and paste planks to get yourself to the top. I've played a couple rounds of it and honestly it seems like a good and original idea. Only problem is that sometimes it can get boring really quickly. I recommend you add some stuff to change it up every once in a while. The UI is really nice and well made. You can see the text buttons have some gradients to make it look nicer. Everything is aligned perfectly and I don't really see any flaws in it. But for now, let's get to the last game for this video. If you want me to do more of this, leave a like and subscribe and comment down what your favorite game was below. I'll see you in the next one.